The average American car payment has just hit an all-time high, and this is on new and used cars. So right now, according to Experian Q1 2026 data, a new car is averaging $770 a month and a used car is averaging $531 a month. And this is probably on the low end of what is actually reality. So what if your portfolio made this payment for you? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a simple 5-fund portfolio and the exact dollar amounts you need, the exact share amounts you need, and we're going to be talking about after-tax numbers here because that is very important. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before I show you the portfolio, we need to talk about the trap, because if you just Googled the highest yielding ETFs and threw your money into them, you're going to get wrecked, as many know. So we're going to look at the Insights tab real quick within YieldCanary, and I want to scroll down to the highest advertised yield funds to show you what I am talking about. So you could see right here, the very first one is Grayscale's Ethereum covered call ETF. It has an advertised yield of 408% just about. And this advertised yield is what you'll see on a lot of these issuers' websites. It is the most recent distribution annualized. So it is a big number usually. And you can see sitting right next to it is the true yield at 0%. So the true yield on YieldCanary takes, I'm throwing a lot of terms out here, but it takes the headline yield, which is the trailing 12-month yield, and it subtracts out what we calculate as return of capital. So when you compare advertised yield to true yield, you're going to see what is marketed to you versus what is actually going on if you strip out return of capital. So a lot of these funds, these highest advertised yield funds, you're going to see a big number that's going to excite a lot of people, but you're going to see a much smaller number when you take into consideration the return of capital. So this is exactly what YieldCanary can be used for. It shows you the truth behind your income funds here. It's not just showing you the big numbers. We're showing you what happens when you take out the return of capital, and we're showing you what happens when you subtract out the taxes that you have to withhold, because it seems like no one wants to talk about taxes, but we're showing you both sides and we're showing you the truth here. So for the car payment portfolio specifically, there are some filters that we're going to keep in mind here. So the funds obviously have to be healthy, meaning that it has a low return of capital. You can see the return of capital column here, or it has to carry the tax efficient ROC badge, which means these are funds just like SPY that has a high ROC, but they're doing it for tax purposes. So we flag those as the tax efficient ROC. The fund also has to have a strong death clock, something that is many years out, or preferably NA, meaning we don't even calculate a death clock on it. And the funds have to be paying enough. So we're not going to build a portfolio here that are 3% yielding stocks. We need to make a car payment here, so it has to be something that is safe, but it's carrying a pretty juicy yield with it as well. So there are 310 total ETFs within YieldCanary right now, and I'm going to show you the 5 that made the cut and why they made the cut. So here are the 5 ETFs that we're going to be looking at here, and the first one is Chippy from YieldMax. All of these are going to be healthy. But you can see Chippy's true income yield, 28.66, 0% return of capital. And then the very important metric we're looking at is the monthly spendable cash yield. And this is taking last month's distribution, subtracting out your withholdings. In this example, it's 25%. And this is going to be the number that is landing in your brokerage account that you could actually spend based on last month's distribution. So it's a very, very important metric. Next, we have QDVO from Amplify. This is more of an anchor fund, 10.45% true income yield, very low, near zero return of capital. And you could see the monthly spendables over here, 0.71% for this fund. Then we have XPay from Round Hill. This one is One you have to keep an eye on with a 2.0 year death clock, but it is also being flagged as healthy. We have a true income yield of 16.5%, and the return of capital is right around 20%. Then we have XYLD from Global X. This one is carrying the tax efficient badge, meaning that the return of capital is a little bit higher, but the fund's NAV is trending upward and in the right direction. True income yield 10.39 on this one. And finally, we have IAUI. This is Neos's gold income ETF. Healthy fund, 11.61% true yield. And we have 17% on the return of capital in the monthly spendable at 0.84%. So here's what we're going to do with this portfolio. Everything is going to be equally weighted, 20% across these 5 funds. It's not going to be complicated. You could probably make an argument that one fund should have more in it, but we're just going to keep things simple. 20% across these funds. And before we get into the actual portfolio itself, I just wanted to mention we're not using the advertised yield. We're not using the headline yield. We're not even using the true income yield, which is a pre-taxed number. What we are using is that monthly spendable cash yield, because that is giving you the after-tax that lands in your brokerage account that you can actually spend to make the car payment. So that is a very important distinction I wanted to make before we got into the portfolio building itself. So with that in mind, the blended average monthly spendable cash yield across these 5 funds is 1.15% per month. And that's what we're going to use here to build this portfolio. So let's jump over to the portfolio tab and we will get right into it. So if you haven't built a portfolio in YieldCanary, or if this is your first time seeing it, you can add your holdings manually right now. We are coming out with an update that is going to allow you to link your brokerage account so everything is auto sync. But for now, it is just a manual process. Very simple to do though. So what I'm going to do is click add your first holding, and we're going to type in Chippy. It is going to be right here in the drop down. You can just click on it. And I did the math before this, and we're going to have 110 shares of Chippy at the current price of $84.20. And let's just throw in a date, and we're going to hit add holding. So these are all going to be around $90 to $100, to not to spill the beans here, but that is the amount. You can see the estimated monthly is going to start climbing here, and there's some other weighted metrics up top. The next one is QDVO, and like I said, you just click it right there. This one is going to be 311 shares at the current price of $29.64, and we'll put the date. Next we have XYLD from Global X, and we're going to be adding 226 shares at the current price of $40.72. Put a date in here, and we're going to add that. Next we have IAUI. This one is going to be 190 shares at $48.45, and we will add that as well. And finally we have XPay from Roundhill. We are doing 174 shares at the $53.15 price point, and we are going to add that as well. So here you can see our total portfolio value, just a little over $46,000. We have a weighted true income yield of 15.5%, and our estimated monthly income after tax, $543. You can see the portfolio health breakdown. This is 80% healthy and 20% tax efficient ROC, which is that XYLD fund there. You can also set a monthly income goal if you want to track your progress. You can see 543, I have $5,000 a month in there. So this right here, if you remember, let's go back to the slide. This portfolio would be covering then your used car payment at $531 a month. Now we're going to juice this up a little bit. We're going to talk about the new car payment at $770 a month, and we're just going to edit what we need this portfolio to increase by. So for Chippy, this is going to take the shares from 110 up to 160, and we'll save. Then for QDVO, we're going to go from 311 up to 453 shares. For XYLD, we're going to go from 226 up to 330. For IAUI, we're going to go from 190 up to 277 shares. And finally, for XPay, we are going from 174 to 253 shares. So this is going to up your total portfolio value to a little over $67,000. And you're going to see the estimated monthly income has jumped up to $790. So $790 is now covering your $770 a month new car payment, as we see here, which is from Experian. Like I said, it's the same 5-fund portfolio, and obviously we just scaled it up a bit. The thing I like most about this is that we are factoring in taxes. So if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, they never talk about taxes. It's not giving you the full picture. Yes, we're giving it a blanket 25% tax rate, but at least it's being more realistic than acting like you don't have to pay taxes at all if you were trying to pay your car payment, like in this example here. And obviously, it goes without saying that this fund is not risk-free. I mean, for example, if the semiconductor industry takes a hit, Chippy's not going to look so great, and the numbers can obviously change. But this is just a snapshot in time. This is just to give you an idea of how you can build a portfolio using YieldCanary, and you can play around with the estimated monthly income that you need depending on what your situation is. So to summarize, if you're looking to make the new car payment at $770 a month, you're looking at a $67,000 portfolio based on the 5-fund portfolio that we just created. And for the used car payment at $531 a month, you are looking at a $46,000 portfolio based on what we just made. So if you want to play around with these numbers yourself, if you want to add your own portfolio to see what our health metrics are showing, you can grab a free 7-day trial of YieldCanary today. There's also a free tier itself that you could just jump on the platform and see what it looks like. I'll leave all that in the description of the video. So please subscribe if you found this helpful, useful, entertaining. Leave a comment down below if you disagree with me, and we'll see you in the next video.